Yeah, sage. I tried sage beginning of the month.
It's such a weird scent. It's like.
Yeah, I know.
It's like I don't really like it, but can't stop smelling it.
Yeah.
Smell it, doggy. What do you think? Right?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. It's like if you smell it on somebody, be like, what's the matter with you? But if you smell it in the air, you're like, yeah, it's all right. It's calming. It's calming.
Cleansed.
Yeah,
it smells like a gym shirt.
Really?
It smells like under the gym, under the ring. I mean,
that makes more sense. It's a whole life under there, bro. Stories can be told for sure.
Definitely. I'm not gonna lie. I tried to find some slides under there today.
I'd come up all the time in there.
Really?
Yeah.
I wanted to come up on some slides.
I know I've been wearing shit that people will be like, hey, that's mine, but I'm not gonna ask Coach. You know.
Oh man, I got on that I got freaking I got Jackson into some trouble.
Oh, what you do, man?
Because his gloves had holes in them. You know how when the holes and start popping out.
He wearing them ringside, huh?
It was
trash.
It was bothering me. So my old gloves, I thought they were my old gloves were on the side of the ring, the ones with the flags. Mm-hmm. So I was like, man, just go those. I don't use them no more. Those are yours now. He was like, all right. After 2 days, he set them down. Somebody else picked them up. I don't know his name, but he wears like he wears the same gloves. He wears those gloves.
I remember. I don't know who it is.
He got tattoos up his neck, but he looks, he's mad yoked.
That's
I'm trying to remember who it is.
That's JP.
JP. Okay, so all of a sudden they're on JP's hand, and so I was like, JP, what's you took his gloves? He's like, no, these are mine. I was like, you sure? He's like, yeah, I wasn't here for a couple days. I left them over there, and he pointed right to where I took them and gave them to Jackson.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh yeah, Jackson, those are his.
Wait, so where are yours?
I don't know. So I don't.
This guy?
Yep.
That's JP, dog.
Shout out to JP.
Shit,
Shout out to JP.
That's my homie.
So also shout out to
I'd be like, all right, yeah, those are yours.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like, I mean, he said, he pointed to where I understood the confusion. And the next day I just gifted Jackson some gloves. I was like,
you're the best.
What's he got now? Ringside again?
He picked ringside again. He picked them. He picked them. And I tried to, I was like, you sure you want ringside? He's like, yeah. I just want someone to punch. Someone to punch with. But shout out to Jackson. He settled on his boxing nickname.
What is it?
Hurricane.
Hurricane survivor.
That's where it was like I love.
Hurricane Carter?
Nah, yeah, I know her, but this ain't him.
But do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
he's a badass.
Yep, but this ain't like his. Do
you know
why we call Jackson Hurricane?
Because he's from Florida.
No, well, no. So and Seth did it to him. So every time Jackson gets off the treadmill, he just puts a towel over his shoulders like a shawl, and then one day Seth just walks up and goes, "You look like a hurricane victim."
And he said, "Look, this is what we do when the hurricanes come."
Yep.
Hey Seth, that's racist, homie. He knows what I'm talking about.
He's just playing Seth.
He knows what I'm talking about.
And but Jackson owned it. I was like, all right, cool. So when he gets big and he acts like that's his style, I'll come in like a hurricane. Dig this episode up.
All right. I dig that. Right.
Shout out to Jackson, man. He felt a little better from his rib, and this Monday I had to tell him, hey, just because you feel better don't mean you can start working out with the guys now. Take it easy. And he looked at me, but he understood. Like, next week we could kick it up again. Just take time, favor your rib. Don't go right into it.
Yeah.
It takes discipline, it takes discipline, sure, to get your work done and get in there and, put in the work. But it also takes discipline to know when to fucking, I was talking to Seth about that today. It's like, it takes a lot of discipline, bro. Like, I know you want to push, but you got to listen to your body sometimes,
I've never thought about that.
Unpopular opinion.
Healing taking discipline.
It does, bro.
Just it's like the work is what takes discipline.
And it's funny because when you can't work, it's when you want to work the most.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Because you're afraid of that.
To fall behind.
Of falling behind, or just I get afraid of that old me coming back and just being like, hey, you can play some PlayStation now. It's like, come on. And so it's like, but Jackson, he it's like he threw a jump kick at me the other day for no reason. I was like, what is the matter with you?
Literally?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was like, what's the matter with you? He's like, I just got crackhead energy.
Yeah, I saw that today. For sure, 100%. I think DMX came on and he just started I was like,
start punching the walls and shit.
Yeah, for real, dog. I was like, all right, dog.
Yeah. I saw a Mexican movie this weekend.
What? Hold on, dog. Wait, hold on.
I'm proud
hey,
of
way.
Yep.
What's it called?
Canelo versus Charlo.
Oh.
This cool, dog. Oh, because you saw it at the movies. Oh, you couldn't wait for that shit, huh? This motherfucker, bro.
We were like halfway through the fight. I was like, oh, man, this counts. This counts as my Mexican movie of the week.
Got it. That's an expensive movie, huh?
Yeah, it was actually. No lie. Like the $25 seats were one thing. Like that was the deal. That was the bargain.
Scale 1 to 5. What do you rate the movie?
6.
What? For real?
The whole thing, one sitting in a dark room or a poorly lit room for like 4 hours. I had to take an ADHD break, go out and walk.
Wait, so you rated a 6 because it was that good, or you rated a 6 because it was that bad?
It was boring.
Okay, so you rated a 1 on a scale of 1 to 5.
Oh, you said 1 to 5? Is that what you said?
What?
She said 1 to 5?
What do you think I said?
I just heard scale.
1 to 10.
So I guess I thought I heard 1 to 10.
Say, on a scale of 1 to 5.
You know, it's funny you guys said that because I went to the fights.
And
I told my wife, Ramos is going to be the best fight of the night, Ramos and Lubin. And she's like, for real? I go, yeah, because last time we went, Maggie was with us.
I said the same thing, dog.
Maggie thought, I told my wife, the fights were all boring when he fought Triple G, remember?
Yeah.
Second time. So we just made it fun because Maggie and Kwame were dancing and shit between the fights and shit.
That's a party, dude.
But I told my wife, this time, I'm telling you, the undercard's going to be fucking good. So she's like, all right, cool. And I'm in there and I'm like, you can hear crickets in the building. You know,
I thought I'm right there with you though, dog. And in the fucking fight that I thought was gonna be the most boring ended up being the most entertaining.
Yeah.
And okay, so let's go through the card right now.
Yeah.
Okay, the first one, Garcia versus
Resendez.
Yeah. Damn it.
The Nayarit.
Resendez. Mm-hmm. I like that one. Like I thought I was like, oh, we setting the tone right now because those dudes were throwing punches. Resendez didn't have much of a defense, but he was countering really well. Yeah. He was, and he wasn't backing down.
Right.
Because Garcia was headhunting. Right. Yeah, and a very good sharpshooter.
So this is something that we've touched on before, right? Is guys getting tested with, those guys that are straight from Mexico, bro. It's a different breed. Mm-hmm. It's a different breed. You're not gonna just straight up fucking knock those motherfuckers out, dude. And I think what happened is Garcia started out fine, but then he fucked around and started playing into Resendez's game. He let him close that fucking gap. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's my little take on that.
It was but it didn't hurt. It wasn't a death knell to him. Yeah. Resendez did start coming back.
He's tough. I'll give him that.
But then when he knocked Resendez down.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of.
It was beautiful.
Yes,
it was beautiful. Beautiful combination.
And then Weeks. It was funny. Weeks had to. That was Weeks who was refereeing. Had to stop it.
Yeah.
But because
it was a good stoppage.
Resendez, his hands could not come up.
Yeah.
It was a real good stoppage. So, but I like that fight. Then the fight after that, Coach,
I didn't see it.
You didn't see that one?
You didn't look at it at all.
I was on my way. That's what happens when you go to the fights with your wife, bro. Because we were actually there,
No, this is like what Coach is doing is pointing out the fact that I'm single, ladies, and he's just like he's bragging about having a wife.
No, I'm not bragging. I'm saying I want. She asked me, "What time do you want to go to the fights for?" I said 3. She says, they don't start till 6. I said, no, the fights start like at 1, 2 o'clock.
Yeah, they got the undercard.
Yeah, there's like 10 fights. And I was like, I want to, and she's like, oh, well, we have your cousin and her husband. I'm like, fuck, okay. So it's like 6 o'clock and I'm trying to rush them. And we don't leave out the hotel till like around 7, 10.
Yeah, no, you definitely missed that shit.
So I missed all those fights. So I just got to watch the barn burner of Ramos and Lubin.
Okay, so we're almost there. So now Barrios and Ugas. Now you like that fight?
Yes.
Right when I was walking in, though, let me tell you, I was walking in, going to my seats. I haven't went to the venue yet, and I hear winner by decision, and I'm thinking Ugas.
Yeah,
and then I look at the screen and I see Ugas' face look like the fucking
like when he fought Arrow.
He looked like Martin Lawrence when he
Good
fought.
Lord.
Remember when he fought Tommy Hearns? I was like, what the hell? I didn't see that. I didn't see Barrios in that. And that just signifies how good Tank Davis is, how he destroyed Barrios.
Just dismantled him. Towards the end, but
Right.
And honestly, Barrios. I'm trying to think Barrios. Yes, Barrios was like...
He fought Keith Thurman and came out looking not like himself, bro. Yeah. Pretty much what happened to Ugas,
Mm-hmm.
When he fought Keith Thurman, that was tough, dude.
Well, he really showed a lot of restraint, too.
Yeah.
Fight. He didn't go for blood at all. And I figured, because once his eye started to swell up.
Well, it's because, dude, Ugas, he's a former champion, dude. He beat Pacquiao, you know what I mean?
So a lot of that was respect.
So, you know.
And that is right. Was he Pacquiao's last fight?
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe it was, yeah.
So that's the thing, is like, I'm not gonna
who knows what was going through his mind, but I can understand why he would give him that much respect, you know, like kind of being on his P's and Q's. I mean, Ugas, to me, in my opinion, he's not a pushover. You know, he's not somebody you're just gonna.
He tried.
It also helped him to fight, you know, a smaller lefty, like when he fought Eric Gervonta and he's fought Thurman. Not a lefty, but the experience of fighting those two guys benefited Barrios a lot. Mm-hmm. And then you know, the last fight that Ugas had, I think he got stopped by Spence, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
right towards the end.
Towards the end.
So now let's go right to the Lubin Ramos fight. Now this one, it was a snore. However, when they announced the winner, the entire theater was just like, "What the fuck?"
You should have heard the venue, bro.
Yeah,
fucking roar of like, "What the fuck?" And you know, Hispanics travel to fights deep. It was like 80% Hispanic
for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
That was like crazy, bro. Yeah. They'll cheer for a right decision. They don't give a shit.
Yeah,
they just want to see fights. But when they announced that scorecard, I was like,
"Oh, I'm sure, bro. I'm sure." You know what though? Like I was in and out. My attention was in and out of that fight because I expected the same thing like we were just talking about. I expected Jesus to just real quick. You know what I'm saying? I really did think that was gonna be the fight of the night. I thought he was going to steal the show because, in my opinion, his last performance, I was very impressed by his last performance against Spencer. Yeah, it was a great performance. And I saw him. One thing that I was thinking about, I was like, what's up with these guys not using their feints? They're literally just going straight. I mean, some people, you start to load up, people read that shit, and all you're going to do is be punching fucking air. They
get stubborn. You know? It looks like he's slowing down, too.
He looks slow.
He looks slow.
Jesus?
Yep.
Okay, I've never seen him before, so I had nothing to compare him to. To me, he looked terrifying, like the way he cut off the ring.
He's imposing. He's big.
Yes, yeah.
But he could, yeah, sure. Okay, one thing is cutting off the ring, and one thing is working off of that, right? Like,
yeah, and that's what he did 1 through 5.
Right, when you put yourself in that position, capitalize, and it's very, very small little window. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta.
But he did that for 5 to 6 rounds. And that's all we saw him do. So when he did stop doing it in about 6th or 7th round, 7th, 8th round. Where did they go? 10 or 12?
I can't even speak too much on that. I'm only talking about the little bits that I saw. But elaborate, man.
Ubin never did anything in my book
to win,
to get a win,
okay.
To get a unanimous win.
Okay.
He never the first. I don't think if I were in charge of boxing,
right,
no one would get the first round.
You have to give
unless you got a knockdown. Unless you got a knockdown, no one gets the first round because it's hard to tell. Everybody, you're feeling each other out. Not much is thrown. Even we're gonna get to it.
The main event.
The main event.
Yeah.
It was you kind of ding and just like go, okay, now I know I'm gonna do the rest of the fight.
Right.
So but some people gave that round to Ubin, and I was like, what's the matter?
I just fucking whoop myself in the face.
And I was just like, okay, I can see that. But rounds 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, I was just like, those definitely Ramos. And to me, Ramos put himself in a position. Was it Ramos? Am I saying
Ramos.
Okay, Ramos. And he put himself in a position to just collect rounds 7 through 12, as long as Ubin stays at bay. And I felt that that's what happened. Now he did stop cutting off the ring. He did stop putting Ubin against the ropes, which Ubin was just gravitating like I think one of the commenters say he's like a moth to the flame with those ropes.
Yeah.
Okay. But he kept throwing punches. Ubin never got Lubin. Okay, I'm Ugas and names.
Yeah.
But he never got off a good combination. That he never did anything to.
I gotta rewatch that fight.
He never did anything.
I can't even talk
to make me say that somebody saw and he got it.
Yeah.
Good. His corner was talking shit to him the entire fight. Well, no, not the entire fight, but 7 through 12.
Yeah.
His corner was like, was really digging.
Oh, Cunningham. Yeah, Cunningham's his coach. Yeah.
Was really digging in on him. And it was like in the 10th, he sent them out saying, "It's like, you look good, they pay good. Now get out there." Like I was like, "What?" Like he said,
throwing in the fucking towel. Bro.
And then, he's like, "What are you doing out there?" Like that was a lot of the talk.
The talk.
And then everybody, you should see him look in his face when he heard his name. You know, like that. I was like, So I felt like I won't say robbery.
I gotta rewatch that.
But I felt like that was that fight was sponsored by DraftKings.
They gotta make their money somehow in Vegas.
Yeah.
Hey, huh?
That's all.
That's a good point.
There was a phone call.
Yeah, bro. God damn. But I guess shifting on to the main event, man.
Canelo
Very
Alvarez.
Disappointing. To me, it was disappointing, bro.
I can't say it was disappointing. I want Coach, you just go.
You guys go. I'll follow in. Okay. I mean, I have.
Why were you disappointed?
Because, man, I think that Charlo. I was expecting Charlo to come in and be way more competitive than he was, man. I know, in my opinion, I believe that he has more than that for sure. He had some success, and he didn't capitalize on what was working for him. You know, his movement, I think they had that right, the movement. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But he had to let his hands go, bro. But then again, all right, we don't understand what it's like to be in there with Canelo in 8-ounce gloves, bro.
10 ounce.
Or 10 ounce, I'm sorry. But seeing with 16 ounce, it's pretty crazy. So who knows what he felt in there and had him change his mind on what the original game plan was, perhaps. I don't know. But
there was no coming back.
There was no adjustments, you know?
Charlo, something happened. Charlo was like, I'm not coming from behind my guard. I think he got off maybe one clean combination. Yes, and it was around the 7th, 8th. He hit Canelo with the combination that made him tremble a little bit.
Yeah.
Like you just saw a little bit.
Yeah.
But that was it. That was the most you got out of him.
Yeah.
But he was like, I'm not getting hit. And Canelo did what Canelo does. He went after his arms.
Yeah.
That was another thing. He was like, if you're going to stay there, I'm just going to beat on your arms. Just pow, pow, pow.
He imposed himself the whole fight. You know what I'm saying? He definitely did.
That's the entertainment I found in the fight. Yes, I was looking for something Spence Crawford, but we got more Davis Garcia. You know, just a kind of just nothing really entertaining. Me wanting my money back, stuff like that.
I will give Charlo credit though. I think it was smart of him to take the knee.
Oh yeah.
When he felt that, you know what I'm saying? Because I think had he not, probably would have gotten out of there for sure.
He
probably got finished. He probably would have gotten finished. If he would have stayed up, yeah.
Because I heard one of the commentators did say that it was a nice strategic move.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, and to his credit, Charlo said, "I'm going back down."
Yeah.
Like, you know, he acknowledged the difficulty. He bit off more than he could chew, you could say.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm going back down.
He's a slim framed guy, man. Like, yeah, he was taller. He's taller than Canelo, but you could tell, dude.
Yeah.
Canelo's like a little
was
tank, bro.
Just
solid.
Tank.
Solid and Charlo, yeah, he may be tall, but he's a slender, slim.
He didn't have the
guy.
muscles. He doesn't have the muscles.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't look cut.
That Canelo has.
Yeah. Who knows?
What we got?
It was she just said it all. Like, it's hard to knock somebody out and fight somebody when they don't want to fight you. Charlo, you know, his movements created problems for Canelo, but as soon as Canelo got close, he would wrap him up, and that made the boxing fight boring. You know, Canelo could have changed up his strategy a little bit. He was really stubborn, like Ramos, trying to win the same way, but he didn't have to make an adjustment, I guess, because he knew he had him. You know, when you're fighting in there, you know you're beating his ass.
Yeah.
You know you're dominating. You don't need the judges at that moment. And Canelo knew from the get-go he never sat down in the corner.
Yeah.
I did notice that.
He was so confident, bro. Like, this camp, I was surprised. I think Charlo and them were banking for him to get tired, like from the 9th on, like he usually does. Mm-hmm. He never got tired.
What are you gonna do if I heard somebody say, "Oh, he's waiting until the 9th." I'm like, that's too late.
Yeah, well, they were hoping. You hope because you can't go heads up with him, so they're hoping that he gets tired and they can catch him with something.
Oh, so from 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, you're hoping you can catch him. Yeah, you're not gonna beat him by decision, so they're hoping that he got tired and they would have pressed it, but he never got tired.
That's a huge toss up, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the only chance he really has. Charlo, he's not gonna be able to go heads up with him.
Yeah,
so that was his only chance, and he never got tired.
No disrespect to Charlo's team. What was he thinking taking the fight? Like, was it just that?
I mean, you all have Who said it, Ali? Or y'all have a plan so you get hit? Like
Tyson. Yeah.
Tyson, like once you get hit, like he changes your mind.
Yeah, you let it take.
You know,
take over you
he says, "I'm the little Charlo." Well, you all your life you were saying you were the big Charlo. Now you're the little Charlo.
You're the little Charlo.
Canelo knocked him into a little kid. and well, now what's gonna happen next? Let's see who's gonna be Canelo's next opponent. If it's Big Charlo, that's two brothers, dog.
He's gonna take them both out. He's like, and that's street. That's playground shit too. You know, you just beat my little brother.
But something. Let me bring it up to Maggie because she's what I saw there on the screen, obviously, when they were in the locker room, I saw Charlo's brother. Now, and we talked about this in person, but I think we did. Mm-hmm. I saw Charlo's brother come in to wish him luck, and Charlo, the one that fought, he looked like mad. Like this is my moment, you know. Like, why are you coming in here for, you know? And he kind of hugged his brother. It looked like the fakest fucking hug that I've seen in a while.
It just looked like that should have taken place at
some other time. Yeah, not the day of the fight, you know.
Yeah.
Their family's so chaotic.
Really?
Yeah. So they're always fighting each other. They're always arguing. That day, Charlo, the other big brother, came in to give him a hug. And I say big brother because I mean bigger weight division.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're twins, right?
They're twins. Yeah.
And because I can't distinct the names, Jermal.
Jermal is the bigger one.
Yeah,
Jermel is a smaller one.
And then I see they go right to Canelo that same moment. He's in the locker room shadow boxing with his son,
fucking dancing and shit.
Yeah, he was dancing with Santa Fe too. Santa Fe also, and
different energy.
Hey, it was funny though because I was sitting in front of some brothers, and when Canelo came out with the hip hop, I never.
Dude, that was so. And I've up until that moment,
my wife was like pissed that it wasn't a traditional Mexican singer.
Oh, really?
She was like, "Oh, I don't like this, and this is not cool. This is not where they're not gonna match Alejandro Fernandez and all these legends for Mexican singing." You know? And she was upset. And then I see her bobbing her head when Santa Fe came out, bro. And I was like, "There you go." Dude. I said these kids brought a different vibe. Yeah. You know, and one of their partners just got killed like about maybe 2 weeks ago.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, Lefty. Yeah, that's the song they sang.
Oh,
it belongs to the guy who got killed.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Those guys sing with him on the song, but that guy got he got killed in front of his apartment.
Damn.
And Canelo was wearing the colors that the guy would wear all the time.
Oh,
purple.
really?
Oh, damn, that shit chills.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know. I mean, I didn't really.
And then
I felt the song.
And
I didn't understand it.
They didn't air the whole song on the video fights on TV, but in person they took the ring and so the brothers were saying, you know what, man, this I've seen Mexican guys try to rap in English, and most of the time they fail. But these motherfuckers are rapping in their language. We don't know what the fuck they're saying, but we love it.
Yeah. That's what I said. I felt it. I didn't understand it, but I felt it. And I just kept listening for Negro. Like, you know, that's all.
The Mexicans don't say that word, dog. They don't say that word, dog. But you might say beaner all the time, but they don't, dog.
I never say that word.
They make that shit clear.
But no, like that was the first time because I was like, oh, coming out with rappers. I've never liked the walkout. No, walking out with rappers. Period. Oh. They can be Ukrainian. They can be whatever. I don't like it. It just seems the vibe is never there.
Never there.
That nailed it. That was like that's how you do it. Like you know it. Then Canelo let them in the ring first. He's like, nah,
oh yeah, he was like, go. Yeah, I seen that.
Like that was a top drawer ring walk. Yeah.
I don't think people those who were in the circle, you know, in the community, they know. They had announced it, right, that he was gonna walk him in, but I think a lot of people probably didn't expect that because he normally walks out to, you know, Vicente or something.
Traditional music.
Traditional.
Who are they?
They're famous they're getting famous they're like the highest in Mexico right now. The most famous one is Peso Pluma, and they're right behind them.
Is there a group name? Is like,
Santa Fe.
Oh, they're called Santa Fe.
Yeah, they're from I don't know where Tornillo's from.
So.
No, they're from León, Guanajuato.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know too much about him, but I hear him a lot, like in the gym.
I got a lot of songs on my playlist.
Yeah, it's on the playlist.
Before they did that fucking walkout.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
put you up on game, though.
I'm gonna jump on it before it gets too big. See if I can be like, oh yeah, I was there when they did the Canelo walkout.
I actually met him.
You did?
At Canelo's gym. Yeah, I didn't know who he was. And
so years ago, yeah.
No, Brandon was at the gym. Brandon Cruz.
Almost 2 years ago, probably.
Yeah, and we were at the gym, and he was sitting down, and that was he caught my attention because he was just the kid Angel, the singer for Santa Fe. He just kept staring at us, and I saw his tattoos, and I was like, I've seen Bad Bunny there. I've seen Rene from Calle 13. All those guys have been there, you know? So it's not a surprise, but I didn't know who he was. And then he's watching his work. Me and Cobra were working, and Cobra goes, you know who he is, Coach? I said, no, not really. Cobra and Brandon were there. He was just admiring what we were doing. Like, he was watching the way we tied the gloves, the way we taped them. Nobody was there. Then Canelo walks in. Canelo and Eddie, and then he gets up and shakes his hand, and he starts telling me, I go, Brandon, who's that? Coach, you got about 4 of his songs on your playlist. I said, who is he? Santa Fe. Like, oh, shit. Yeah, okay. So that was him. So really humble kid, super cool. And those, obviously, since those 2 years, he's blown up. Year and a half, 2 years, he's blown up to a different level. So to see him do what he's doing, it's cool.
That's really good.
But he's from a rough part. Well, Kwame could confirm this. He's from a place called León, Guanajuato. Well, Kwame fought there one time. And, bro, we're warming up outside of the venue. And there was about, Kwame could tell you, there's about 7 or 8 young kids, about no older than 15, no younger than 12, right in between those ages. Smoking cigarettes, tank tops, tatted up. And they're fucking mad dogging us.
Well, just child soldiers.
Child soldiers. And I go, do I talk to him like a child? Or do I talk to him like a man? So I
don't make eye contact.
No, I did. Because they were mad dogging us. You know? Okay. They weren't comfortable with us warming up in front of the little place where they were hanging out at.
Okay.
So I went up to him. I said, what's up, G? You know, in Spanish.
Yeah.
What's cracking, dog? I'm from San Diego. This and that. We're just here training. Oh, what up, man? You're good, man. You're good. And they just want to smoke some weed. I'm cool, dog. But that's where that fool's from. And that's how all those kids are right there. They're just child soldiers, bro. Tatted up gangster kids. They admire the American hip-hop. But they put their own spin to it. They just like the culture. They like the dressing. But they put their own flavor to that shit. They figured that there's a lot of Hispanic and Mexican guys have tried to do the American rap. And they've all came short.
I'm trying to think.
Cypress Hill's the only one.
He's...
But they're American, but they're American Mexicans, but they're the only ones. But that did good in English.
What about nope, Los La Raza?
That's Kid Frost. That's only one song, one hit.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I'll try. And I have to go way back to the 90s.
I mean, there is some groups that have some nice songs, but if it, you can't, you fade quick in the American hip hop.
If it's in Spanish, I think it just fares better.
Yeah,
you know, it just
flows different.
Yeah, it just because that's all that. Well, in my brain, I'm like, I wish I should have learned the language because I don't know what they're saying. It just sounds, it pops, it hits. So, I don't know. We'll see. A little housekeeping right now. You guys, the podcast is moved to a different YouTube channel, and we want you guys to follow it. It's going to be on this channel that you're watching right now this week, but it's also, put in your URL, youtube.com/Point and Yell Presents. That's the new home of the Between the Bellz with the Z podcast. Subscribe. Make sure you subscribe because that's where it's going to be. If you want to follow it, you want to see all this, you want to see these boxing jewels.
Who watches YouTube on the fucking internet? Don't people have the app?
That's the same thing, though. They still got to go to the...
What? For real?
Yeah, you can still put it in the search engine. Point and Yell Presents. They put in the search box. Point and Yell Presents. And, and part 2 of that is, hey, if you guys have, hey, I want a podcast. You have something you want to podcast about? Email pointandyell@gmail.com. Say, hey, I want a podcast. Can you guys help me with my podcast? And they will get back to you.
My boy trying to help the world and shit.
I'm not helping the world.
Them. Let them figure it out. Nobody helped us.
Right. I did.
I helped you.
I know. We help each other. I'm not trying to help the world. I'm trying to
figure it out, man.
No. Email.
We're using a broke-ass phone for a fucking camera.
Yeah. Hey, either way.
Shit.
We're out here with the incest
and shit.
Get my shit right. The chairs make noise. How to fix my shit.
That shit's all fucked
up. Somebody comes in and they got one of them load of those true crime.
If it wasn't for Lamar, we wouldn't have these headphones.
For real. And this whole equipment, bro. For real.
And these mics.
And true crime podcast, they get a big audience. Did we get some of their audience? We share. It's not work.
Fuck about their fucking audience. I'm playing.
Why is it so hard, Mom? All right. So anyway, Point and Yell Presents. Follow this podcast there or Instagram Between the Bellz. What?
Point and Yell.
That's why it's called that. That's why it's like when I was because
anything else you want to offer free?
It's not. I didn't say the word free.
You guys come into the arena. I'll give you guys free hand mitts.
Did I say free?
Oh, don't do that.
Did I say free? I did I say free? I didn't.
I just said you're gonna help them.
I know.
If you offer help, it's
I don't even think I didn't use the word help. I just said if you have a podcast idea, do what I said. Don't
listen to me. I'm bad.
Your first episode though, he's gonna be in the room. You're gonna understand this frustration. But so I was shooting.
You love that shit. Food.
I was shooting work related, and one of the actors got mad at me.
Yeah,
it was just like, all you do is point and yell. Well, I was like, that's who you work for now. Now please do what I told you to. And then that's the history of it.
Point and
yell. I think it's an East Coast thing because it's like all my friends are like, hey, it's like that's how it's like we have an idea and you're talking. That's how we get.
That's an East Coast thing because we can't point in California. West Coast, you get yelled at if you're growing up and you're like, "Que no apuntes, cabrón."
Oh yeah.
You can't point at it. Yeah.
You can't.
It's like snapping at somebody.
It's like an insult almost.
But you wouldn't point. I mean, what if you just point at your friend? Like you're just like, hey.
Don't be pointing at me, dog.
Oh yeah, because it's like you're identifying somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's different. That's a different kind of point. That's point and snitch. Yeah, I would. This ain't that. This is not how I play about that.
Hey, but really quick to go back on the Canelo fight. The other day we were talking about maybe 4 or 5 podcasts ago. We were talking about fear, like how fear.
Crippling and shit.
And that's crippling, and that's what happened to Charlo. The fear just overtook his. It paralyzed him from executing his game plan.
He wasn't like I say he was scared behind his guard. He was like, I'm not coming out, and he really did not.
You let those thoughts overpower you, and like Coach said, your game plan's out the window. You notice, this guy's more powerful. Okay, well, what's going to be your adjustment?
What are you good at?
What should have been his adjustment?
Jab, feint, move. Jab, feint, move, 1-2. Just went with the 1-2 jab. You're longer. You're taller. You work from the outside. It was off the feints. Because Canelo will time you if you don't feint. And so he had to keep feinting, dropping the jab, that 1-2. And I can't say too much about what Canelo doesn't like because we work with him. But, that's what I would do if I had Charlo.
You would have just...
I would have tried to win on the outside. I wouldn't try to win I wouldn't... First of all, I know how hard that motherfucker hits in the arms, so I wouldn't sit on the ropes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. That was not the move.
No, okay, the punch in the arms, that's new to me. Like, I've just recently learned about that. But it's like, oh, yeah, it's genius.
Have you gotten hit in the arm?
Yes.
Seth knows.
Like, I hit in the arms. Like, I do because Kwame taught me that. Yeah, so I started punching
Ask Kwame why. Ask Kwame
why. No, and he told me that Canelo did to him. Yeah. And so I started doing it. But it's like, you can't move it. Because if you move your arm to avoid that punch, you're opening up your body.
Well, it's not only that, dude, but normally you do that to the lead hand, bro. Like, that shit, it gets dead, That's all that muscle right here. Yeah, it's effective, though.
Rocky Marciano made it famous.
He did?
Yeah, he's the one that first started doing it. He would beat people's arms so bad, they couldn't raise them to defend themselves. But he literally went after the arms. He wouldn't, hide nothing. He'd go right after your arm.
Javin is really good at it, too, bro.
Yes.
He had a nice little knockout.
Javin has a great hook, period.
Yeah.
And just like power, I think whatever he hits is gonna, however he hits it.
Yeah.
Because I heard, you told, Seth was like, Javin was here, the coach was teaching him a drill, and said, hey, don't use any power, don't load up, just boom, boom, boom. And still, it was explosive.
Yeah. He has good leverage on his shots.
Mm-hmm. I definitely.
You hit hard too. You get that fucking
retarded
strength.
Break motherfuckers' ribs.
You break ribs of your teammates and you fucking hurt your coach and you do all kinds of shit like that, dog.
Inconsiderate.
It's not. I don't know how to defend myself. I feel like I should be saying.
Is it true or no?
It's not. I'm not proud.
I stand corrected.
That's like the grown man strength.
That's super old man strength.
Old man strength, huh?
Yeah.
I am learning my strength.
Barely?
No, I'm learning it. And the rib situation, that was different.
Do you remember that? You know what shot you got him with? Or
yeah, I know.
My bad, dog.
Did you feel like a chill going
Chill out, dog.
No, it was like that. So what happened was he threw a right hook.
That's what I tell everybody. Don't throw a right hook by themselves because you expose yourself.
Oh, yeah.
And then I just went in.
Especially with the fucking lefty.
Oh, you a lefty. Yeah.
And I just got under it.
That's your rear hand was right there.
Yep.
Or your lead hand, yeah.
So
full leverage.
Yeah, and I was.
What was it? A hook or a straight?
Like uppercut. Oh, was it a hook? Oh, you throw that shit right. You throw that shit good too.
Rear hook.
With the backhand.
Oh, dude, yeah. The left.
So it's like
the power hand.
Yeah.
I'm out here trying to do math and shit in my fucking.
And then he took a knee, and I was like,
Did you feel like a dick when you did that?
No. I mean, because I didn't. I didn't put any.
It's funny
power.
how
I didn't put any power.
That's what I was gonna tell you. It's funny when you don't try to hit somebody hard. You do the proper technique. You don't have to load up. It just boom. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You even think they're faking it for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the truth. It's like I knocked out a lot of people without even trying.
Yeah, and I did not like it. Was like I'm not proud of it, but I was proud of myself for the accuracy. You know, for like the form, the technique of the form. Like, hey man, I'm sorry, but that was one of the best punches I ever thrown.
Was it kind of like a fucking just scooped it?
My
bad.
I just I think I moved out of the way of his right.
Okay. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's one thing I noticed about you. Now you're throwing when they're throwing at you, and before you would wait and then you would throw.
Look at the floor.
Now you're punching in between their punches. That's a good way to disrupt them. That's the best way to hurt somebody when they're throwing. That's what's so hard with Canelo to knock out Charlo. He wasn't engaging with him.
He wasn't. Oh, so he didn't. He couldn't.
It's so hard to knock somebody out when they don't want to fight.
I can definitely see that. And I started throwing because I like throw or get hit. Pick one. That's what sparring has become for me, and it became fun.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted, I'm hurting, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, I'm having fun. Just, throwing jabs, throwing punches instead of trying to figure out, when's the right time.
Well, I think I took that one.
It's a nice selfie.
Yeah, it's your selfie. Yep. Me when I was my stealth 185.
You looked all pissed behind me and shit.
I was high.
High on life.
Sure.
Now, yeah.
Sure.
But one subject I want to talk about this time is the and this happens in boxing. I think a lot, getting overlooked. Mm-hmm. Like I have that was something that happened all the time when I was in entertainment, getting overlooked. And that's why I would do my own productions. I would put together.
Oh, I remember why
I would put together. I would put together my own things. Like why? Someone gets overlooked? They get passed over,
right?
For whatever reason.
Yeah.
What do I
attribute it to?
No. Well, yeah. Okay. What do you attribute it?
Well, it depends on what the context, right? Like what is this person looking for? If you do or you don't fit into their establishment or fucking their plans or their vision, whatever. I think that's what helps me realize that it's not personal. You know what I mean? So I always say, fuck it, hey, maybe they don't see it and it is what it is. It's all good. I'm gonna keep pushing forward.
I think that's the thing is like the keep pushing forward, because I've always been motivated by rejection because I have always had to prove myself. Like, okay, you're not gonna let me play over there, I'm gonna play over here.
Yeah.
I've always had like a red nose reindeer. What was his name? Rudolph complex. Like I'm getting left out. I'm gonna have to play. I'm gonna play on my own. But it's like so many people get left out. One thing I've never been able to do is like use hate as fuel. I've seen people do it. It's like, oh, they'll blah blah me.
One day you'll see.
Yeah, like revenge. Like I can never like harness it. I've never, I've had it. I've had the hate, but I've just been able to like, how can I turn this into fuel?
Yeah,
I've always been lost.
Well, how can you turn it into fuel? Well, I think, do you give a fuck? It depends if you care what people think. You know what I'm saying? If you care, but I don't know. Personally, I don't know, man. It's tough because it depends on how you look at shit, right? I guess if people are hating, then I don't know. Are you doing something right?
Yeah.
Seems like it.
It's like right now, I feel like we're getting overlooked.
Okay. Yeah.
Like we're here in San Diego locally. I feel like we have the best fighters.
I agree.
With me and Bashir combined, and we have a promoter here in San Diego doing shows, and they're advertising their guys more, and they're overlooking our guys. So I'm getting overlooked because it's my guys,
right.
Our guys. I'm sorry. So I tell the guys, fuck it. Let the spotlight be on them, and they're gonna see us coming. When they see us coming, we just remember that. Document all this shit.
Yeah.
Because the time's gonna come, we're gonna knock all those guys off, and we gotta just keep moving forward. Yeah. It's my fuel, but it's not my angry fuel, like you're saying, because you can't let it become emotional. You just gotta strive to be better.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't do it out of anger. I gotta do it out of what these guys need. Just if I do it out of anger, I gotta focus on them, and they'll shine.
You know what you do when you get emotional, you get angry, you prove them right.
Yeah, don't let nobody. I used to work with this man, and I never forget what he told me. His name's Art Richardson. I still talk to him sometimes. The other day he came in the gym, and I got all excited. I remember you and Kwame were there with that old dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, Art's here.
Is it short, a white haired dude?
No, he's a black dude, like fucking opposite. Fucking.
I know.
I used to call him. His name was Artemis. I called him Artemis because he was always pissed off, but not pissed off. He just worked. And then one time I told him, because it's gonna. What I'm about to say, I go, are you mad, Art? And I was like 19 years old, bro. He was already like 45. He's like, I don't have time to get mad, son. And I was like, well, what do you mean? He goes, I don't let no people control my emotions. I just got to keep working. And I was like, oh, fuck it. That man doesn't even know how much he influenced me growing up. Well, I wasn't a kid, but I was an adolescente.
Yeah,
and
adolescent.
And I remember when he met my wife, he told me, my wife was my girlfriend, and when I introduced him to her, he goes, son, that's a keeper.
Ooh.
And I was like, okay. And I just trusted everything he told me. And
he's bringing up the wife again. That's when everybody noticed that.
Lorena, shout out. but yeah, God's put some great people, and I was open-minded to learn from them. So I never forget that when sometimes I feel like because we're human, we get mad, we get angry. I just remember thinking, I don't have time. He used to say, don't give him the pleasure to make you mad.
Yes, that's. I think that's the best.
Yeah, and he's been I still talk to that fool sometimes.
And it's whether it's jobs, you get passed over for a job, you get passed over for your woman, whatever. You just keep being you, and eventually they'll be like, "Oh man, I made a mistake."
It's crazy, man. Like that's why I try not to ever look at things like, oh, because I'm a female or I want to be the first female, and yeah, it's cool, but I don't know, man. Like I think that once you start to look at shit like that, it's almost like you kind of bring it upon yourself. It's just I just don't fit into whatever the fuck, I don't fit into whatever their agenda is or whatever. So
I think I remember.
That's a mean motherfucker. Right? Look at his arms, dog. Knock you into another century, dog. That's my boy.
That's a whole arm.
It's a whole leg.
But yeah, you can't.
This is when we used to work together. That's me and him.
These are pictures.
Back in the day? Oh, damn, back in the concrete days?
Me and Artemis, dog.
Text me those so I can edit those into the thing.
Okay. You can do that?
Yeah, so I can edit.
Shout out to Artemis.
So
people like, oh, anyway.
You coach in a past lifetime and shit?
Yo. But what were you saying? It's like you can't take rejection and stop. That's
nah, yeah, you gotta keep going, man. Like if you're really determined to do what the fuck you want to do, bro, like that shit ain't gonna matter. You gonna make it.
Yeah. If I tell you how many times, man, I used to train at CY Center, a youth program, and all the coaches were there. It was me, Carlos Barragan, who actually owns House of Boxing now, his father, and we had a shitload of fighters, bro. A bunch of badass kids. We had the best team, and I was in there every day, bro, like training the kids. And just going to tournaments with them, going to big fights with them, and going everywhere with them, right? I wasn't even involved in the pros yet. And then Carlos Sr., Carlos' son-in-law came in, and he started helping his coach. And I remember Carlos would come up to me and be like, see how good my grandson, my son-in-law is? Damn, he's good at coaching. I'm like, motherfucker. I've been here for 3 fucking years, and I'm getting overlooked, right? And I remember coming home and venting with the wife. Yeah. And she told me they don't value you, so you got to make a decision, either accept staying there and understand you're always going to be like you're like expected to do what you're doing right now. You're not looked at like, oh, you're helping them. So I just said, you know what, I'm gonna bounce. I remember I did a Jerry Maguire, dude. Who's coming with me? And I left with just 2 fighters. And I didn't tell them to come with me. I just said, hey, guys, I'm leaving. Take care. I had shook their hand, and they were pissed. One of them shook my hand, one didn't. And I said, I'm out of here, bro. I got to go on my own. It's the best fucking thing I did. They're doing their thing. Shout out to them. They're doing their thing. We're doing our thing. And when it's all said and done, like, we work next to each other hand in hand. But shit, one day we might fight them too.
And I think that's the best way to go about it is like you don't need anybody who rejects you ever.
No,
it's like that's just the way at it. You know, you have your dream, and you're like, oh great, that's one less thing I got to worry about. Yep. You know, like that's how I see that. I've even learned to look like at past relationships as like, man, you know what? I can never be like, ha ha ha, you didn't pick me. Yeah. Look at me now. I can never do that because I know had they, I would never be this.
Right. Absolutely.
You know, it's 100%. Like
I can relate to that.
Oh yeah, I can see. Sexy bastard. Fuck. Well, he made it sound like he was like.
No, I didn't mean sexiness, but yeah, I'm, whatever. I'm trying.
You're sexy, dog.
He wasn't on the camera, so good.
The camera's off anyways.
Probably.
That would suck.
Hey, you didn't record, dude.
Don't play. But what I'm saying is like I hate saying it like this, but yeah, you need that rejection.
You need that
sometimes
shit
to clear your path. Because some of the things that we want to accept is not. Matter of fact, when I left comedy, it was all rejection. It was just rejection after rejection. My name somebody threw salt on my name, and then I just said, I'm funnier than every motherfucker who has an opinion on me right now. And I've done this. I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't need this shit anymore. And then I just walked away. Because
it's like from the CYA Center?
Yeah. It's like I just walked away. I was like, I don't need to be. I'm like, I'm going to go to college now because that's where I've never succeeded. I succeeded all over comedy. I've never succeeded at college. Before going back now, I dropped out of college 3 times.
Yeah, I've done that too, man. I've been there.
So it's like that.
I never went to college.
You didn't need to, though.
He's bragging. You hear?
I didn't.
He's like, I've done all this. I didn't need college. He's one of those.
Yeah, not everybody. That's just not for everybody.
Yeah, that's right. What did you say?
My daughter. I want to share this right now. My daughter, she in high school, her last year, right? They do all these pranks. Well, I guess all the kids are shooting each other with water guns outside of the school, and when you get killed, you get documented and whatever.
What?
Yeah,
are they wearing like life?
Yeah.
You'll see kids walking around with like a air wing or
Yeah. So she was wearing that yesterday. Yeah. So they told me they could come to the house. So I bought 4 water guns for the doors, and we're fucking John Wicking the house, bro. So if some kids come, I told her to buy some water grenades too. She's like, "No, that's too extreme." I said, "No, you got to make it past the last 50, you know." So I got her strapped up. You can't shoot nobody in school though. Outside of school, yeah.
Because that was really weirding me out when I kept seeing these kids with water wings. That's what they're called.
Oh, that's a thing.
Because I got the high school.
You went to Point Loma. I thought you would know that.
Yeah,
I didn't go to.
I didn't go to high school, dog. So I don't know.
Sounds like I didn't go. You know.
Like every now about springtime. Yeah. Spring 24, they're gonna start walking around and
what the fuck?
Look like the weirdest gang I've ever seen. Just all have water wings on.
Yeah, she was wearing.
Like my mind's going like, where the fuck was I, bro? Like I don't remember any of this shit. That's crazy. Might be new, dog. Dang.
Last thing that we're going to get.
Skirt.
Women's Boxing Network. October 14th.
At the arena.
At the arena. On Sports Arena. Across the street from Target. I don't know. Do you guys know what our address is?
It's 3500 Sports Arena Boulevard. San Diego, California, 92110.
Yeah. Rewind it.
They sign us checks. 3500 Sports Arena Boulevard, next to Pachanga Arena.
I was about to say, literally, if those OGs from San Diego next to the Sports Arena.
Yeah, next to the Sports Arena.
Yeah, next to the Sports Arena, right between the Sports Arena and Dixieland.
And
if you get lost, ask any homeless guy. They'll help you get to the gym.
Chick-fil-A.
You're probably there. If you're talking to a homeless guy, you're probably there. They're just going to point at that building over there.
Oh, you mean that one?
Yeah.
But yeah, come out. The Women's Boxing Network is hosting a smoker. They have the greatest events. You guys didn't come to the last one.
I've never been invited to one, so I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, we got footage of you being, and never mind. But yeah, I went to the last one that they had in East County. It was a wonderful event. They had door prizes. I won a new pair of gloves.
Oh, I seen those gloves.
I love them. I love them to death. And the food, free food.
What kind of food?
It was okay. This dude was. I mean, I should have got. I'll have his information for the next episode because we still have one more episode before this event.
What was it? Barbecue?
Mexican soul food.
Oh, I heard about that. I
almost told you.
Yeah.
What? Mexican soul food? What is that?
Yeah, exactly.
Like barbecues with the tortilla?
Yes, but I can't really. Like, you knew you were eating Mexican, but you felt like you were eating something else too.
Some soul?
Like it had.
Like some pizza with cornbread?
I'm ignoring. I'm ignoring all of this.
Bacon?
Watermelon with tahini?
Chorizo?
No.
Chorizo?
Probably.
Con huevos o sin huevos?
He had wings, he had ribs, he had brisket.
Oh, shit.
What the wings have?
And then
Chipotle?
He had like this Korean kind of Texas. It's like a Korean Texas sauce that he
on the wings
did the stuff with.
You brushed it on there.
It was great. I'm not a.
Traditional?
You see the brushing again? Oh, that was good right there. Dog.
Traditional? Boneless?
I don't know. All I know is I'm like real happy right now just even thinking about it. It wasn't boneless. Stop that. That's ridiculous. But it was next level. So come out and just watch these young ladies spar. Like they like.
Oh, it's like all girls.
Mm-hmm.
That's women empowerment.
Oh, shit.
And it was like great matches. Like none of them boring for a second. There were a couple where you you felt like she didn't know what she signed up for, and she knew exactly what she signed up for.
Yeah.
There were a couple of those.
It's all good.
Do they show up with other coaches, or they show up by themselves?
They showed up with other coaches. They showed up with their coaches. So, and it everybody had a good time.
That's in 2 weeks from now, right?
Why does October 14th sound so familiar?
We're supposed to fight that day.
They saying that.
He's fucking retarded. Never mind.
Oh, you guys got to fight that day?
We had to fight, but our fight fell through.
Oh, okay. So 14th noon, Sports Arena Boulevard. One of these two would be there, maybe.
Hey, man, you got to slow down on that fucking strength, dog.
Stop that.
It broke my shoulder.
Yeah, man, what the fuck?
I'll be out for 2 weeks.
It's not retard strength anymore, though.
What is it then?
It's
smart strength.
I guess it's strength. It's calculated. It's calculated. Or whatever.
Indeed.
So
like, comment, subscribe. Share this shit.
Tell your mama.
YouTube.com/Point Presents.
Also a vote to get a new background or not.
Oh yeah, because this shit's fucking horrible.
Yeah. Vote.
He cares about what you guys say. He doesn't care what we say.
Yeah, man.
Oh wow, that's the opposite of anything.
It don't matter.
That's the opposite of anything. I do.
And
care
if you
about
need help starting a podcast, hit him up. He'll help you for free.
I'm not gonna
go to your house, do a layout, show you how to do
that's
that
right,
shit.
Cause PowerPoint and everything, homie.
Everything. Just help
Let's
you
go.
from the get-go. He might even donate some merchandise we don't even have.
And he might donate these fucking shirts. You never know.
Hey, so who's the least respected person in this fucking podcast?
Hey, so what are we gonna talk about next week? So at least motherfuckers have something for.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about. Shout out to Seth. We were talking about
CTE.
We're gonna study it. We're gonna research more.
Yeah. That's chronic traumatic encephalopathy.
Talk about that.
And you gotta have smart friends.
And leave a comment. Shoot a DM at Point and Yells with a Z on Instagram. Hey, talk about this. Ask us a question. I'm thinking about doing this. What should I do? We'll give you the answer.
Oh, Captain Save-A-Hole over there, dog.
We don't even know answers. He's gonna give you answers.
How am I Captain Save-A-Hole now?
E40, dog.
Damn.
Research that shit. Look at that song on YouTube.
We're out.